I'm Dr. Mohlman here at Grady Veterinary Hospital, and today I was going to talk about pet obesity. Obesity in pets and people is a huge problem, and obesity is a growing problem in pets. They say at least half of pets in the U.S., dogs and cats, are overweight now or obese. But it increased risks of health problems like joint disease and arthritis, diabetes. They're more likely to tear their knee ligaments and require surgery, and there's just numerous health problems that can be caused by being overweight. And one thing, a lot of people tell me is like, well, I only feed them a cup of food a day, but sometimes when I'm impressed, they'll say their cup is like the big gulp cup instead of a measuring cup. So I always recommend that you measure your pet's food. Usually what it says on the bag is a little bit too much for pets, because that's presuming that your pet is extremely active. Cookie is a patient here at Grady Veterinary Hospital, and she is a little on the plump side. If you look at her from the side, she doesn't have much of a waist that tucks up underneath. She kind of looks very long, like kind of a tube. And when you look at her from above, her rib cage is almost the same size as her waist from above. So dogs should have a waist just like a person, where they tuck in at the back end and up at the bottom. Cookie's a little bit on the heavy side. She's not obese, but she is plump, and she probably could lose, 3 or 4 pounds in order to be in the best shape that she can. She does eat twice a day. I think she gets a few too many snacks and treats, and when your pets do get treats, then you have to kind of count that into their serving for their meal. So a lot of pets should, if they're a little on the heavy side, we recommend a weight loss food for them. We recommend, if you want to give them treats, to give them very small treats, or baby carrots as treats, or something that's or green beans even. A lot of dogs love green beans, and those are very low calorie treats. And sometimes if they like something crunchy, frozen green beans work very well too. But so Cookie's being cut back a little bit on her food and a few less treats. And it's good to give them a month or so and then reweigh them and make sure they've lost a little. So this is Guinness, and Guinness is on one of our other videos because he is our blood donor here at Grady Veterinary Hospital. But Guinness is an example of an overweight kitty. When you think about cats, they should look more like a tiger, nice and sleek and smooth. And Guinness is, he's a little on the plump side. He does not at all tuck up underneath. His belly is quite round, and he probably carries an extra 2 or 3 pounds. So Guinness has to eat a fair amount in order to keep up with his job. But he is on weight control food, and we've been cutting back on his weight. He has actually lost a pound. And the hardest thing for cats is to get them to exercise. You can only, you can cut back their food, and measure it out, but you have to try to get them to play and move in order to burn some calories and become more active. And so Guinness has a whole selection of toys to play with here in the hospital. Well, this is Jackson. So Jackson is my dog, and he's here as an example of what to look for a nice, slim, trim dog. Jackson eats actually 2 cups of dog food in the morning and 2 cups at night, which is a lot, but he also runs with me every day. So he's a very active dog. His energy expenditure is very high. So Jackson, sit down, buddy. Jackson tucks up. Jackson tucks up nicely. He has a waistline, much more narrow than his chest. And when you look at him from above, he has a nice narrow waist here too, which is smaller than his chest. A lot of times it can be a small change, like instead of buying the big dog biscuits for your big dog, you can buy the little tiny biscuits. Dogs don't really understand size of a treat, so they're just as happy to get a tiny little treat or a green bean or a carrot many times as they are a giant big dog biscuit that's the equivalent of like a half a cup of dog food. Cats, a kitty treat or even a couple of their kibbles can be a good treat for them, but most of the time when your pets are begging for treats, they really just want attention. A lot of times you can pet and love on them. You can take them for a walk, you can play ball with them, you can play with some of their toys, and they'll be just as happy as if you were to give them a treat. If you have a question whether your pet is overweight, definitely talk to your veterinarian to ask what a goal weight would be for your pet, and ask for tips on how to get them down to that goal weight. And it's a nice thing to join in with your pet. If they like to go for walks, then that's a good activity, and to get you outdoors too. And a lot of times we find that people and pets can really get into it and enjoy their time together as they help their pet lose weight.